What's up, Shib Army? Welcome back on my channel. Now, girls and boys, it's a big update, but it's regarding Shibarium and all the latest projects. One of them is Brick. So, Shib Army, do tell us, how can we move forward with Shibarium and introduce us to Brick?
Brick is here to help educate and guide the SHIB army and or investors into Shibarium, utilizing the best decentralized tools and resources provided from official sources, which is us going to the discords, us talking to some SHIB team, us really kind of doing our research of getting the guidance, following the blogs, doing our research, and trying to bring that to the masses or the community that we have in front of us or the reach that we've established, and grow Shibarium and global adoption. In the Jumbotron, it mentions, education, resources, bringing value, funding projects, supporting projects, adoption. We may be Brick DAO, which we'll talk on a little bit, but Brick DAO is SHIB Army. And we believe, Bricktoshi believes, that united we stand, divided we fall. And it's been absolutely incredible to watch this first month of the blockchain and the projects, like the communities that have been built. The projects are literally teaming together to get this word out there. So it's been kind of magical. But Mud, I'm going to pass the mic over to you a little bit to maybe touch on our mission, and if you want to get into initiative one of what we've been doing.
You're always so well spoken, A1. I always feel clumsy when I speak after you. But yeah, you really kind of hit it on the head. We really wanted to dedicate our community and our efforts towards that education. And so that's why we started right away. We started simple and we started fast. We made some graphics thanks to Lloyd, who's another member of the CoinMerge team where this came from. Thank you, Lloyd, for all of your work. We made graphics to try and help guide people step by step on what to do. And then more members of the community just started pitching in and helping and giving information. So I also have to give a big shout out to Yamez. He's a whale of CoinMerge as well as Brick, and has been holding Bone and other things for a while. He went and made a tutorial video for free just to help. And he started at the beginning and he made this whole tutorial video that we've shared with hundreds of people at this point. Even outside of the Brick community, I often talk to people in Shibarium Tech Telegram, and oftentimes when they say, hey, I'm struggling with the bridge, or hey, I'm having trouble with this or that, or something doesn't look like it's working, I tell them, hey, we've got this great how-to video. Watch this. This will help you. If you'd like to join the Brick community, come on over. We'll help answer more questions. So it's been a huge resource, and that's really what this is all about, is community. And like we keep saying over and over, it's friends helping friends. And that's what we really want to do. We want to help everybody take advantage of the opportunities within Shibarium, because Shibarium is early. It's young. There is a plethora of opportunity to take advantage of, and not for nothing, people usually transact on Ethereum or Binance, other great networks out there, definitely. But when you talk about gas fees, I can remember that I had a chance to buy Leash when it was less than a penny, and I chose not to because gas was $200 on the Ethereum network, and I kick myself every day for it. But gas on Ethereum, you can get up into the hundreds. Gas on Binance, way better, but it can still be several dollars per transaction. On Shibarium, the last transaction I completed cost me 0.0004 cents. And you gotta let that sink in. Shibarium is affordable. People can build on Shibarium for fractions of a penny. You can launch an NFT series on Shibarium and maybe spend $1 for all of the minting. There's huge opportunity there. And so as part of our beginning initiative, when we talked about how can we help, what can we do, part of that education was for people to really understand Bone is key to Shibarium because it is the gas token of the network. So for people who are listening who maybe don't know exactly what that means, Ethereum is the gas you spend to transact on the ERC network for ETH tokens. BNB is the gas token you spend to buy things on the Binance network. Same with other networks, Crow and Phantom and others. Bone is the gas token that you use to purchase Shibarium projects. It's the gas token to get you your transaction to complete. And it's a fraction of a penny to transact. So part of our first initiative when we launched Brick, we made it a reflection token so that all holders, regardless of the size of your bag, you can be holding 1 brick or 1,000 brick, you earn bone on every buy and sell of brick. It's a 1.5% tax. It's not huge. We're not trying to take a bunch of people's buys or sells, but we wanted to reward holders of brick with bone on the Shibarium network so that they had free gas to buy other things on the Shibarium network as well. And many holders who bought into brick early and have been holding it for the last 3.5 weeks, people post their rewards that they see on the app, and some people have earned as much as 400 bone in the last 3 weeks just for holding brick. Granted, they got in early, they have big bags, but that's just free bone. Same as when you stake and delegate, you earn bone for doing that. You earn bone for holding brick, and it feeds gas to your wallet on Shibarium network for you to take advantage of all the other opportunities on the network. And you don't have to worry about buying bone again. You just hold brick and you have a steady inflow of bone coming to you every day, sometimes several times a day when volume is higher. A1, you know me, I have the gift of gab. I'll talk too much sometimes. So I'm gonna mute myself and either give someone else a chance to chime in here. I don't want to hog the mic.
Yeah, no problem. I can listen. I can unravel a little bit more of the project as well. You had mentioned 1.5% tax going to rewards and bone. You also mentioned bone being the gas token and the LP pair on chain, which I didn't fully understand until we started to dive a little bit deeper into this, and the conversations really started to peak up in the whale chat. How bullish bone actually is. Like, I'm not just talking brick, I'm talking bone. How bullish bone is, in my opinion. And this is not financial advice, and never invest more than you can lose. But I've started converting a lot of my ETH, nothing wrong with ETH, into bone, especially at the prices we're at now. And, it may translate into some gains short term or whatever it might be. I think long term, bone is a very bullish investment, which is also why I'm bullish on some of the projects that are on there, because being paired to bone, which is very bouncy in respect to, or in comparison to ETH, bone is very bouncy. It could really catapult a project, especially the good ones that are building. So you had mentioned the 1.5% tax and rewards for bone, which I enjoy personally, and I think is extremely bullish for the project because you're just sitting there collecting bone. But then we also have the 1.5%, which goes to Shibarium adoption. So 1.5% of all the volume goes into our DAO wallet, which collects the bone there, and also holds brick, which also collects reflections, to build up this wallet that we can utilize to support projects bringing value to the blockchain. We can utilize to support communities coming together to build materials that we're using to educate others. We can utilize that to support and invest in innovative technology. So, initiative 2 and initiative 3, I'll jump in here in a second, but I wanted to tie on to initiative 1 and what we've been able to do with, the Shibarium network. The Shibarium network is brand new, as many know. People are a little uncertain about this, but where I've been finding value is going into different channels. We've made a network within CoinMerge. I've been connected. I've been invited into different areas and things like that. I'm kind of a plug of myself. I'm not the top alpha dog or whatever, but I'm in a lot of channels, and I've been able to go in there and kind of lightly talk about Shibarium. And we put together this educational piece that I've been able to actually insert into these channels and start to educate them on there. And in return, they set us up as a Shibarium support lounge, a trusted Shibarium support lounge, because let's face it, there's over 1 million investors in Shibarium. The Shib team is phenomenal and they're great at what they do, but they have to battle this constant FUD of when moon, when this, when that. Not saying you need the hand, but we're here to be a hand for that. So they'll set us up as a / command. Their community can come into ours, ask questions, and again, we'll use the official resources of the best knowledge we have to try to help them not only answer the questions, but onboard them. And in return, we've set them up as support lounges in ours as well. So we'll just hit a command and we'll say, whoever comes into our community, hey, go in here. Because what these projects are going to need are investors. They're going to need channels who are educated. And if we can funnel people into these channels and they funnel people into our channels, it's just cross exposure, cross engagement. And now future projects have a path to become successful. So we've been able to do that. And a lot of these people are doing it for us free at charge because I think they see the value in getting into Shibarium early and maybe identifying themselves as a Shibarium call channel or AMA host or whatever it might be. I know we at CoinMerge have experienced benefits from this. Projects that are connected to Shib have been reaching out. They're looking for promotion, things of that nature. So it's been beneficial on that end. But to tie into Initiative 2, so Brick is not just a token. Brick is a DAO. We're a decentralized autonomous organization that utilizes Brick as a token to support the chain. So Brick by Brick will support and help bring light to Shibarium projects with good intent. Those who are truly bringing value and increasing the reputation of the blockchain can gain access to the network we have and will established. And I'll get into that just a bit. But Brick DAO will prove pivotal in seeking out and vetting the proposing eligible projects. So by holding Brick, you become a part of the DAO, which structure is being released this weekend. And your holdings in Brick will weigh in as a vote on which projects are going to be eligible for the investment from Brick DAO or the support from Brick DAO. So the projects will submit proposals by sending, Brick or Bone to a tax wallet, and then brick by brick, investors will listen to presentations and vote which project that deserves the support. So the project that gets voted on will then be eligible for a discounted KYC, which helps prevent scams by Assured DeFi, who we ended up partnering with. They teamed up with us as a premier KYC partner. We worked with them at CoinMerge. They're phenomenal. Once they pass this KYC that's already heavily discounted, Brick will then reimburse them a portion of it to make it even more affordable to bring safety to the blockchain. Once they pass that, they receive an investment from Brick DAO directly into the token. They also receive a Golden Brick NFT. And what this Golden Brick NFT value really is, it's like an access pass to a discounted network of promotion and services. And to give you an example, CoinMerge promotional, they're offering 30% off for any project that has the Golden Brick NFT. Assured DeFi, beyond their KYC, is offering a percentage off the rest of their network, the marketing, etc. We have Chatter Shield on board, which is a very popular bot within Telegrams that people raid. And the ad space dangles right there, primarily in ETH and BNB tokens. So it should be a really good funnel to bring in new investors. They're on board at discount. And there's already 2 or 3 that I have not announced, will be announcing. They're on board again. And my role, my part in this that I'm doing as part of the DAO, I don't get paid, I don't take any tokens, I invested myself, is to go out and try to create these networks the best I can and hope that others are doing the same. So again, the voted on project will not only receive an investment from Brick DAO, you have a community of people who've been collecting Bone that are listening to your presentations. And if they like it, they're going to jump on board and help push their own bags because that's the nature of DeFi. But then you have an extremely discounted road to success on the network if Brick DAO chooses your project. I just think it's, in my opinion, Initiative 2 is extremely bullish for the chain. Brick DAO holders, the Shibarium projects that are building that we pick, and also the investors in Brick DAO and Shibarium. I'm sorry, I already mentioned that, and Shibarium, because it's going to provide pivotal projects that are making gains, that are trusted, and just bring a lot more exposure and success to the chain, in my opinion. It's not, obviously there's going to be projects building on their own, but I think Brick DAO could prove pivotal in that. And then Initiative 3, which is just as bullish in my mind, has a similar aspect to that, but the focus is going to be more on innovative tech. So people who are bringing innovative technology to the blockchain development, whatever it might be, they may not have the funds. These developers that are talented may not have the funds to go out there and do that. And instead of harvesting their investors by doing a pre-sale and then pulling and whatever it is, BrickDAO will actually invest directly into that for either a percentage of tokens, which they will make gains on it. They'll invest and they'll pull responsibly, not to rug the project, but to show support at the gate. But there has to be benefit back as well for the support, and or equity or like a tax share or whatever it might be to help jumpstart them. So educate, onboard investors, support valuable projects, and support innovative technology are the three initiatives that BrickDAO is bringing to the table.
Okay, great, guys. Yeah, Brick's, helping Shibarium expand. And I was wondering, we did touch on their challenges that new investors might face when trying to bridge to Shibarium. So I was wondering, how does Brick address these challenges?
Bud, you want to take that one?
Yeah, it's a great question, and it is something that we touched on a little bit at the beginning of this. So it keeps coming back to education, and this is something that's great because it really snowballs. People keep joining the Brick by Brick Telegram, and they, even right now, I'm watching our Telegram, and people are coming in saying, "How do I buy? How do I buy? How do I bridge?" I'm watching it happen live as we speak. And the answer continues to be, hey, we've got graphics for you. Hey, we've got a how-to video for you that will help show you step by step how to get your ERC, Ethereum Bone, bridged over to Shibarium, onto the Shibarium network, how to add the custom Shibarium RPC using the official Shibarium website, the chain.shibrpc.com. So you're going to trusted sites, you're using trusted sources, and then you go straight to how to bridge on the shibarium.bridge.io/bridge. And we tell them, hey, when you bridge, don't panic. It's going to take anywhere from, the site says 20 to 30 minutes. Last time I bridged, it took 7 minutes. It's much better than it was when Shibarium first went live. But we tell them, hey, don't worry. That's part of what we're here for, is not just the education, but to show some empathy to investors. Because just like A1 said, my wife and I, we spent an entire day sitting on the couch figuring out, what is DeFi? How does MetaMask work? What is an RPC? What are all these different things? And we just had to figure it out by ourselves. And we lost a bunch of money because we accidentally sent some into the void. It happens. But that's part of what we want to help do here at Brick, is show some empathy, have this sense of community, and do a little bit of hand holding and say, hey, not only are here the steps, but we're here with you every step of the way. And let's do this together, and let's make sure you're comfortable with each thing you're doing. And if you have questions, we're here to help. And Brick is obviously much smaller than Shibarium Tech. The moderators at the Shib Tech Discord and the Shib Tech Telegram, they do their best. I mean, I see Maximus and Fertoshi, Shiba Baby, Mazrael, all of you guys constantly fighting FUD and answering questions and referring people back to the pinned messages, back to the blogs. These guys, I mean, you have to understand, Shib has millions of investors. Literally, I'm not exaggerating. Over 1 million wallets are in Shib. And those are people who have the opportunity to get into Shibarium. And the amount of people that they deal with day in and day out, often with no thanks, is massive. Maximus does not have the time to hold each and every person's hand when they have a question. There just isn't enough hours in the day for the number of investors. So when I talked about that snowball effect, what I'm referring to is, over at the Brick community, we're smaller, we're growing, but we're smaller, and we're able to give that dedicated one-on-one attention to each person. And when we do that, I often tell them, hey, now that you've done this, you can help your friend. You now have the video, you now have the steps. Share it to your community, share it to your group. Show someone else how to do what we just helped you do. And now they, as a member of the Shib army, are adding on to that list of educated Shibarium investors ready to help onboard and bring more people into Shibarium. And I've had some people criticize us before saying, oh, well, teaching someone how to get into your network is, evergreen. That's just something that every token should be doing. I disagree a little bit. I think it gets glossed over, or I think a lot of times people say, hey, here's the info, go figure it out. And I'm not naming names, I'm not calling out anybody. I've seen it before on other networks. We really wanted to make sure that, to answer your question, people can come to a place and have the support needed to feel confident getting into Shibarium and take advantage of any opportunities in there. And I tell people straight up, do your own research. Look at Brick. Here's what Brick does. If you think it's the right investment for you, great, grab a bag. But you don't have to. There's no obligation. You can go and choose to buy anything else. But we're here to help, and we'll continue to be here. Whether you never talk to us again, or if you come back in a week and say, oh my gosh, I need some Brick now, I want more bone, totally your prerogative. We're here for the long haul. This is not a short pump. It's not a flash in the pan kind of project. We really want to be a part of the Shib army, be friends with the Shib moderators, and offer our support, however small or large it may be, to really tackle these issues of helping people get into the network.
Okay, great, guys. And we touched on now for the DAO what the community would be voting on. I was wondering if the community are able to propose changes to the educational materials, and if so, how?
Eventually, yes, they will be. So essentially, Bricktoshi, we are all Bricktoshi, was the mind that kind of was behind the project to begin with. An internal DAO has assembled for now. As anyone knows, when you're starting up a company or a project, there are pivotal moments, like key changes, directions that need to be put in place, and actions that need to be taken. So the DAO, the internal DAO at this point, has just been assembled of some trusted individuals. Eventually, once our structure is released, the DAO is going to be released to all of the holders. So your holdings in Brick will weigh in on the votes. So if inside the DAO there's some suggestions to make it better, it can all go to vote. And yes, the educational content, how we approach things, can all be adjusted. At the end of the day, we are all Bricktoshi. And the more invested you are in Brick, I guess essentially the more Bricktoshi you are, right? Because you'll have that influence in it.
Got you. And are there plans to collaborate with other projects or platforms within the Shibarium ecosystem?
As far as collaborations are concerned, I think, there's going to be big plans for that. The DAO's proposal process and AMA process will prove, beneficial in collaboration with some of these projects as well, because obviously if we invest in it, we're going to want to support them and line them up to be successful. There's I don't want to get into detail because it's not, but there's been conversations. We met Sharby on stage yesterday and saw some synergies there, and there's nothing confirmed, but there's conversations going up as we continue to navigate, as we continue to grow, and we see other projects bringing value. If there's something that we deem would be beneficial for Shibarium, ourselves, and them, then yeah, absolutely, there's opportunity for collaboration there. I'll give you an example. Shout out some projects that have come on stage already. The Friends Helping Friends stage. Shib Sniffer. I identified them as somebody that came into the Shibarium very bullish, very energetic, very hungry. They set up a bot that I saw around Telegram. Our buy bot in our chain wasn't working. And he came in and he created and built a bot for us. It started with us. Hopefully it becomes electric across the stage. And I saw him and I was like, man, this guy's a go-getter. And he offered us free ad space. Had a lot of like, kind of what I had to offer to the space is like, listen, be selfless, and then eventually value will come. So I brought him up on the stage for CoinMerge's meme culture and CoinMerge's utility showcase as a keynote, and just helped them get a little bit of exposure. So yeah, if you're out there, you're working, you're bringing value, then collaboration will come.
Okay, and you've got a lot of educational material you're putting out for eBrick. I was wondering if it's going to be available now or in the future in multiple languages or accessible formats.
That is a great question. My name is Mud. I have to assume the answer is yes, but if you want to tie into this, that's an excellent idea for us to start assembling.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where I'm always a little embarrassed because I am a idiot monolingual. I only speak English and I don't even speak it that well. So it's something that I sometimes struggle to help with because I don't have the bilingual ability to say, yes, let me help you set up a Spanish telegram or a French telegram or any other kind of languages. What I believe will happen is more and more bilingual community members will step up and truly have the opportunity to say, hey, I understand what the mission is and I understand the initiatives, and I happen to speak multiple languages or two languages or three, and they will be able to say, I would be happy to start another group where I can help moderate and feed information from one to the other to create these multi-language channels. Because truly, I mean, we said it before, Shib has millions of investors and they are global. It is not a US or, UK community. It's a global community. It's people all around the world. And so there does need to be that support to reach Asian markets and Eastern all the different kinds of markets wherever you are. Uh, we want there to be that kind of support, but we will need people who are ready and willing to step up and say, "Hey, I can do this," and then have the ability to say, "Great, here's the information. You understand what to communicate to these other language and listeners. Let us give you the tools so that you can help support them." And then, of course, we use Translator as much as we can, and Translator can only get you so far, but it is something that if someone does come in speaking another language or English is not their first, we try to help. And I believe that eventually more and more people will join, and someone will say, "Hey, I'm ready to create a Chinese telegram for Brick. I speak both languages. I'm happy to do it because I'm a part of the community. I'm part of Sheep Army, and I want to help." And we will be able to say, here you go for it. We're here to help support you as well.